Greetings, friend. How are you doing today? I have one question for you today. My question is, do you know anyone who is a scaredy cat? A scaredy cat. Somebody who got scared by things who are easily scared by things in quite unreasonable way. If your answers you did not know one, and you're watching this video, now you're looking at one, and now you know one. If you're only listening to this, now you're listening to one, and now you know one. I could be a little bit of a scaredy cat, and this comes to my mind today because the other day I scared myself in a very fascinating way. I was in the house and it was dark. It was getting dark outside, and I was inside of my house, and the living room and area around my front door was completely dark. and and then suddenly out of the blue, I heard this noise. I heard this, the rustling noise nearby the front door, and I said, "What the heck was that?" And then the noise happened again, and it happened again, and it happened again. And I went, "Is somebody trying to get into my house?" So I armed myself with, for somebody who's trying to get into my house. And and then the noise continued, and I was like, "Okay, what am I gonna do?" And then it suddenly stopped. It suddenly completely stopped. And after some time, I was like, "Oh no, what was that?" So I tiptoe in the house. I tiptoed to my front door, and I got to the door. I was in the other side of the door, and I was getting ready to look out through the peephole of the door. I was getting ready to look out. There is this squeaking noise inside of the door next to me, and I jumped and screamed, and I turned around, and right at that moment, I saw blinking light on the floor. And would you care to guess what scares me? It was the automated cat litter box. I'm completely serious. It's the automated cat litter box that I have had for years. But for whatever reason, yesterday I perceived the noise that is being made by this box that I've heard in the past being super scary. And had somebody on the other side of that door, say a delivery person or a friend or perhaps even my parents, I would have most likely hurt you because I was scared, and I probably would have and definitely could have hurt myself as well. And what a way to react, wasn't it? What a way for me to react to my automatic cat litter box because I happened to perceive it being scary for whatever reason yesterday. And what about you? What about you? What a time when you react to something, and I invite you, I invite you, not in a way that berating yourself, but in a way that just kind of like a little bit comical like this, to see when, and practically being human, the majority of us, and that include you and myself, have reacted to things in the past where you just reacted, and perhaps it is out of fear, but perhaps it out of something else's, but you notice that you reacted to something instead of thinking with sort of like a calmness and a cool mind that says, okay, well, this might be this might be this. Instead, you arm yourself. In my case, I arm myself against the automatic cat litter box that I personally purchased. And so, what about you? It's very good to know when you tend to react. It's very good to know when you tend to react. For whatever reason it is that you tend to react, what triggers you? Because when you're able to recognize this, then that's when you'll be able to say, okay, now I remember that I have a tendency to react to this and that and this and that, and then you can decide that if you know that what triggers you, then you can choose to not let that triggers you anymore. The awareness will allow you, at least in most cases, to not let yourself be triggered anymore. So please share in the comment below if you ever have a moment that's kind of somewhat comical, like me and my cat litter box. Being scared by my cat litter box, and I'm sure Mr. Kit the cat was highly amused about that. And perhaps it's a different situations that you got triggered, that you got scared silly, or you react for whatever reason it is. And even more importantly, just put a note for yourself when on times that you have reacted instead of responded to things. And this is Bridget with Joyful Riches Beyond Grief. I see that you have a much calmer and much more peaceful and wonderful time as you embrace them and recognizing your triggers and not get scared silly for no reason, and that you create a beautiful, wonderful, fun, joyful, thriving life one day at a time, and a beautiful, thriving life as a whole, as you learn to recognize what you tend to react. And I love you very, very much, and I look forward to see you again very